It's like my favorite saying, like what's happening. You can make from it what you want to make from it. It means what you think it means. Yes, what's happening. We are back with another live second one today because I just watched like some content from sister, and she's like, in this moment consuming everyday content. Yes, and I am consuming content for a very long time daily. And she says like, yeah, you consume so much content, it's time to also put some content out. And I don't know if you know it or not, but I did not make new content for like a period of time. I was just uploading um I was just uploading like content from a month ago, even longer. And why? There's many reasons, bro. People on my skin, bro. If I tell you people are on my skin, it's not funny anymore. And this is one of the reasons. And second of the reasons is at this moment I am focused on internal. Yes, I am focused on internal. And what does it means? Internal well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being. And I'm not so really focused on all these other things because if you believe it or know it or not, this on the YouTube posting consistently what I am doing, bro. This channel is existing 4 months or something. I have more than 500 uploads. It takes energy. It takes more energy than a job. I don't get orders what to do. I am sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times in the night awake, working on things, working on content, working on projects. I have also the studio here, working on things, working. This is what we do because I love to do what I do. It's not work for me. So for me, there's no breaks, there's no this, there's no that. But we will change that. If we started somewhere and we're gonna grow until we are where we want to be. Okay, I have a topic what I want to discuss today, and this topic what I want to discuss today is as follow. It is about the fact that many people they don't go to church. Why they don't go to church? And why I don't have a shirt on because it is very hot in this room. I just put the airco on, but it's still hot. Um, why a lot of people don't feel like going to church, reading the Bible, and this is the truth. This is the truth. If you want to acknowledge it or not, this is the truth. A lot of people they don't want to read the Bible because they feel like they are not worthy enough to be a son of God, to be a woman of God, to be a man of God. Okay, I have some things that I'm gonna read for you today. We also have some scriptures, all the micmac, like we used to do it. It's not about being perfect, but rather about acknowledging your struggles and consistently returning to your faith. Feeling guilty and fearing God can be a sign that you are still holding on to your values and are willing to make the amends when you fall short. There are people in this world they are preaching like don't fear God and you don't have a reason to fear God and they are preaching these kind of things. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, this is wrong. If I was not fearing God, I was fucking your bitch, bro. If I was not fearing God, bro, I was now in the streets doing things. I did not leave the streets. I did not leave the prison. I did not leave all these kind of things that I left behind me because I want to prove point to the world. It is because I fear God. I know that I can win from the police, I can win from the judge, I can lie to them, I can get away from them, but I cannot get away from God. Yes? And this is what is gonna catch up in life. Yes, you can go in the streets, you can sell drugs, and you can think that you are now balling. You can convince everyone that you are balling now, but you cannot convince God that you are balling. And this is what is the reason. So, matter point of the story, as long as you strive to be righteous, because righteous man falls 7 times and keeps on standing up. So the righteous man is not always right. The righteous man is not flawless. The righteous man is the man that keeps falling but keeps on standing up. And this is a perfect example of me because it doesn't matter how many times I fall, I keep on standing up. The Bible itself talks about struggling with sins and temptation. Even Apostle Paul mentioned his struggles with his own flesh. Romans 7:14 until 25. What's more important is your willingness to acknowledge your mistakes, ask for forgiveness, and continue to grow in your faith. When we don't acknowledge our mistakes or sinful behavior, this is the form of pride. And pride is the worst sin in God's eyes. Pride is the reason why sin came. Believe it or not, it is like that. And it goes very deep. If you want to know the deep side story about it, you can Google it. You can talk to JetTBT, or you can go to church and talk to a pastor. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a spiritual leader. I am who I am. There's no label that you can put on me. And I don't try to fit in a label. So I'm not gonna study to fit in a label. That being said, on to the next. You are not defined by your mistakes. Remember that being a follower of Christ isn't about being perfect. It's about being a work in progress, striving to grow in your faith and following God's commandments. Recently, I spoke to a girl, and this girl told me literally, this is the only things from the Bible what we should follow. Bro, it is wrong, in my opinion, to take off the Bible what you feel good with, what you are comfortable with, and leave the rest where it is. The only reason that there's right and wrong in this world is because of God, because of the Bible. Because why is killing someone wrong? We kill animals, we eat it. But a human being, killing and eating is wrong. Why? Because of the Bible, because of God. God created us. Yes. And if you think deep about it, even killing animals should be wrong. Rarely I eat meat. Rarely. Sometimes I have like a meat streak, 3 days in a row, chop chop, big chop. But rarely I eat meat. Fish, I eat often. No, because here is the breakfast very good. And how can I say it? We need to reset. We need to reset to the values and the standards. Yes, and there's no other way to do that than accepting that we are not perfect and striving to be better than we already are. Yes, you fall back in sin, don't stay there. Falling back in sin is like a drug addict that refuses to go to rehab. It's gonna stay in the addiction, and this addiction is a spirit. I can smoke cigarettes, I can leave the cigarettes. I can smoke weed, I can leave this weed. I can drink coffee, I can leave the coffee. Addiction is a spirit. It is not about you smoke weed, you are addicted now. It's not about you drinking coffee, you are addicted now. It's not about you smoking cigarettes, you are addicted now. No, it is a spirit. And that's how it is. We're gonna read the last piece for today, and then I think we are done. Keep moving forward. Don't let feelings of guilt or shame immobilize you. Use those feelings as an opportunity to learn from your mistakes and grow. God's love is unconditional. Remember that. God's love for you is not based on your performance, but on his unwavering commitment to you as his child. It doesn't matter what you do, God will love you. Doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. Bro, I was speaking with a friend that I did not speak for 13 years. He was like, yeah, I can kill someone and God's gonna forgive me. And I was also speaking with a girl like, yeah, I had sex outside of marriage and I even have a child outside of marriage and I'm still blessed. Like it's a big flex. I'm like, hold on, you should be grateful. God can do this, it is done with you. Why? Maybe I think about this because I was almost done a couple of times in my life, you know. But no joke, if you sin in your life and you think that you can get away with this because God approves it, this is not true. It is not true. God knows that we are weak. God knows you can be married for 20 years, you can go to church for 20 years, you can live righteous for 20 years, and then comes the day, boom, you put a trigger on someone. You start smoking, you start doing drugs, you start getting drunk, you start getting fornicating, whatever. It is possible. We are humans, and God knows this. We should be aware of the fact that we are humans, that these things can happen, but we are not supposed to choose for doing these things. We're not supposed to walk in the spirit like rebellious, like I'm gonna do what the fuck I want, and no one can tell me nothing, and God is not gonna do nothing. I can do this, and it's nothing is gonna happen, because it's not how God works. That's not how God works. That being said, stay blessed.